Okay, so here's the asset we'll be creating today. Okay, so Shift A, add a cube. Pull this tab open over here. Under transform, go down to scale. So we want to set Y to 5 and X to 5. Then under Z, 0.2. Okay, so now we have like a flat cube. Press tab to go into edit mode. Go to face selects. Select this top face. Press I and move your mouse in a bit to get this border. Maybe something like that. Okay, so press E to extrude. And then just move your mouse down a bit. Like that. Okay, so press tab to go back to object mode. Then I'm going to press Shift A and get a cylinder. I'm going to lower the faces a bit. Maybe like 25. Okay, so then we're going to press S and Z to scale it down to about that size. Then I'm going to press tab to get into edit mode. Left click this top face. I'm going to press E, go up a bit, left click, and then press S to scale it in. So E, move up a bit, left click, S to scale it in. Okay, so then select this top face here. Press I, move that in a bit. Then we're going to press E and move that down. I'm just going to scale that in a little bit. Okay, so then Control R and select one of these lines at the top. So Control R, left click, right click, get your move tool. I'm just going to move that up a bit to round out the top. Tab to get to object mode. Right click, shade smooth, scale it down a bit. I'm going to scale that on the Z to flatten it out a bit. So if you hop into edit mode, this bottom face here is not going to be seen, so you can just delete that, delete face. With this bottom face selected, you can right click on that and shade flat. So you want to sit this on the floor, but make sure this inner circle is still above the floor. You don't want it clipping through. Okay, so I'm going to press Shift A and get a cone. I'm going to set the faces to 22. I'm going to scale that down. I'm going to scale it up. Right click on that and shade smooth. Scaled it up on the Z to make it longer. And then just placed it in top there. So the bottom of this cone also won't be seen, so we can delete that. Okay, so I've put this one in the corner. So I'm going to go to modifier, add an array. So I've gone for 5 in the count, and on the Y I've done 1.37. Depending on what axis you're on, depends on what number you're putting over here. So apply that. So select that, Shift and D to duplicate, right click. With the rotate tool, rotate on the Z. Hold Control to snap it to 10 degrees. So I'm going to rotate that 90 degrees like that. Then I'm going to press tab to go into edit mode. I'm going to press L to select one of these here, and I'm going to delete that because they're overlapping. So now I've just got a loose 4 like that. So select these, Shift D. Then I'm just going to move these over here. So I've got all these. So I'm just going to duplicate this and move it. Shift select them, Shift D. Like that. So there we have our spikes. Select the floor objects. Press Control A. Apply scale. Then press tab to go into edit mode. Press A to select the mesh. Then press Control B. And just move your mouse a bit. And then right click, shade smooth on that. So now we have a smoother border to it. Okay, so just select everything. And then shift left click the floor. Right click, join. So now it's all one object. Then we're going to Shift A, armature, single bone. I'm going to put that in the middle. And just put it up above everything else. Left click the trap. Shift left click the bone. Control P. Then you want with empty groups. In object data properties, we have vertex groups and we have bone. So in edit mode for the spike trap, press L on these spikes. And then press assign with weight set to 100. Go back to object mode. So if you go to pose mode now for the bone, and if you move the bone up and down, it'll move all the spikes of it as well. So it might look pretty silly with the spikes being at the bottom like that. When there's a floor down, you're not going to see the spikes underneath. So if you get your timeline up, and if you go into pose mode, and you select your bone. So you want to set your spikes to be quite low down in a resting position. You know, kind of like that. So you want to press I. So then you want to press location and rotation to insert a keyframe. So then click on that keyframe, Shift D, and move it over to 20 will be fine. So on your timeline, move to 30. Still in pose mode. Bring the arrows up to where they're fully out. Press I, location and rotation. Duplicate that, maybe like 10. And then select these two over here. And then duplicate them and move them 10 keyframes to 50. Why are they flashing like that? Anyway, at the end, set the keyframes to 70. Make sure that keyframe is at the end, that one at the start. So we press play now. So it's a bit slow. Under frame rate, I'm going to change that to 60. I'm going to move that timeline out a bit. I'm going to press C for circle select. I'm just going to select these. And I'm going to press G to grab them. Slide them over a bit. Yeah, maybe just till the end. How long do you animate the trap to be active for and not active? It will depend on what you're using it for. So if we go to material, we can add a material. I'm going to make a grey colour. Oh, maybe a brown. Maybe like a brown colour. Maybe brown like that. Add a new colour. Make this one like a grey. I'm in edit mode. And you just press L on all these. Then you press L on them, select all them. Assign the grey material. Then you press L on these. New material. Maybe like a darker black colour. Assign that. Turn this metallic up a bit. Same with the spikes. Make the brown a bit less specular. Okay, so there we go. A quickly animated spike trap. Hey, thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. You know, if you liked it, leave a like. If you want to see more tutorials, subscribe to the channel. If you would like to see what else I've been working on, check out my main channel where I'm making my own video game. We got some devlogs up there. They're pretty good. Check them out. And yeah, thanks for watching this video.